Thank you, Chandradasa. And yeah, good morning to you all. So I'm probably going to speak for a little while before we meditate. So you might or might not want to be in your meditation postures. Um, what to say? Eh? Here's another Lorca poem. This is a song of the seven-hearted boy. 7 hearts that are hearts that I have, but mine is not there among them. In the high mountains, mother, where I sometimes ran into the wind, 7 girls with long hands carried me around in their mirrors. I have sung my way through this world with my mouth with its 7 petals, my crimson coloured galleys cast off without rigging or oar. I have lived my life in territories owned by other men. The secrets I wore around my throat, unbeknownst to me, have come open. In the high mountains, mother, where my heart rose above its echoes in the memory book of the stars, I sometimes ran into the wind. 7 hearts are the hearts that I have, but mine is not there among them. And of course, in the one of the oldest myths we still have, part of the Gilgamesh cycle, is the Inanna descent myth, where she has to go down through the 7 gates into the underworld. Well, she doesn't have to. She chooses to go down through the 7 gates to the underworld, and she's visiting her sister, isn't she? Well, I was going to say, I might know the myth, but she's visiting her sister, who's the queen of the underworld. Inanna is the queen of the sky, and she's visiting her sister, whose husband had just died. Actually, her husband this myth, as I say, part of the Gilgamesh cycle. Her husband, who is the bull of heaven, had actually been killed by Gilgamesh, but that's in a different myth. Anyway, she goes down, and at each gate she has to take off part of her kind of regalia. Yeah, she has to, so she at each gate she's told to remove something. So by the time she gets to the underworld, she's completely naked. Yeah, quite a strong image, this sort of image of descent, which of course is a kind of a descent that happens in meditation as well, doesn't it? When it's a descent in into our own psyche, isn't it? Into the body of our psyche in a way. And one way we can understand having to strip off royal regalia, ornaments, is, of course, the letting go of our ego, isn't it? Letting go of our constructed self. one of the reasons why in meditation we're trying to redirect our attention towards our kind of psychophysical experience is that we're trying to weaken or see below our sort of constructed sense of not only ourselves but the world. Yeah. And each sort of stage necessitates a kind of letting go. Yeah. We're letting go into a deeper experience. What we're in a way, this is what we're trying to do. What are they trying to do? This is one possibility, something that can happen within meditation, is that we slowly, through just taking our attention away from our small self, this idea of us as something discrete, yeah, and dropping into a more direct, physical, psychophysical, energetic experience of ourselves. And we start to loosen or allow to open our normal view, our normal holding to, you know, holding to a fixed idea about who and what we are. Mm-hmm. I found myself in recent years thinking a lot of what I'm interested in doing as a meditator is to enter into what might be called a more participatory relationship with the world. You know? Realize that my own experience is always arising within and in relationship with the world. I think we sometimes have this idea of meditation being a kind of introversion, you know? But actually this going deeper into ourselves is also going deeper into what we might call a world. I mean, we might, yeah, I mean, not an adequate expression, is it? We might, I was going to say we might call reality, but I don't like to use that word reality. It's a bit hyperbolic in a way. I don't really know what I suppose it just means what's real, doesn't it? What's real reality. And then this idea of these sort of 7 gates or these 7 chakras or wheels, or which are understood as somehow having their own aspect of consciousness, you know? Rather than thinking all our consciousness is kind of located somewhere in our head, we start to have an experience of different parts of our body holding different aspects of our consciousness, or different ways of being in the world. So by becoming more aware of ourselves as a whole physical, psychophysical, energetic being, we start to inhabit the world in different ways, or we start to relate to different aspects of both ourselves and the world, because of course there's a kind of correspondence between us, isn't there? I think one of the things that I've been working with for many years is this trying to collapse or trying to somehow get away from this idea that there's some kind of reality outside of ourselves. Of course, there is some kind of reality outside of ourselves in a way, but what I mean by that is that it's not something out there that we're looking for, is it? You know, we are no more or less part of reality than anything else, aren't we? One of the things I think we're trying to break down when we meditate is this dichotomy between the sort of subject and the environment, realizing that we're just part of the environment, aren't we? Yeah. Why am I saying this? I suppose I'm saying this because I'm trying to sort of suggest that I'm trying to encourage you to perhaps have a slightly different idea of what meditation is about, or what it potentially offers us. You know? We're not trying to, it's not a matter of having some special knowledge or special attainment. There's no special attainment, I don't think. What there is a relaxing into how things are. Yeah. And the main thing of course we want to relax into the world. We want to feel comfortable and at home in the world, don't we? The first stage of this way, or the fundamental move of this is to feel comfortable in our own bodies, isn't it? We are manifesting in the world through our body, and using body in a very open way, you know, your physical body, but it also, I mean it to include your psychophysical body, the body of the psyche, your emotional body, however you want to put it. Realizing that you don't have to be stuck in a particular perspective which is based around your, what we might call your ego self or your small self. I mean, none of these words are particularly satisfying, are they? Ego, self, or this. So we're just trying to get a kind of feeling of it, that perhaps there's, perhaps when we bring our, for example, if we bring our attention to the heart area, we're just more aware of our heart, we're going to have a different experience of being, aren't we? Yeah. Just as simple as, or if we bring ourselves down into the belly, we're going to have a different experience of being. So in this traditional idea of these seven, or sometimes in Buddhism it's six, isn't it? But let's stick with the more common seven chakras. You know, each of these chakras or wheels or psychic centers offers us a slightly different, or maybe quite a radically different experience or perspective or participation in the world, a way we participate in a different way. Yeah. I don't want to make some kind of rigid system or methodology out of this. What I want to try and do is encourage you just to be inquisitive, you know, or allow. Just as I'm speaking, for instance, if you bring your attention into your throat. I mean, just how does that feel for you? You know, just to be more aware of your throat, for instance. Yeah. You can kind of get a feeling of descent, can't you? If you just sort of quite playfully run your attention from, say, the crown of your head down through your brow, with a kind of mouth cavity, that soft tissue down through your throat, that's sort of into the heart, down through the solar plexus to the belly, down through the sort of sexual center, your sexual organs to the root. Mm. You can feel sometimes when we relax into the breath, we can feel it as a natural flow in the body. There's a natural energetic flow in the body. You know, as you breathe in, there's a kind of drawing up from root to crown. It's a very subtle, energetic drawing up on the in-breath, where we just sort of sweep through the body. Energy in the body tends to move quite quickly. Sometimes when we do these sort of, we're told we do these body scans, we're imposing something on our experience, you know? Rather than imposing something on your experience, just try and see when you meditate what the breath suggests. How does it suggest that the energy moves in your body? Huh? It can move quite swiftly in a whole breath. We can take in a whole kind of central axis, central channel from root to crown. It tends to go the other way, doesn't it? On the out breath, kind of releasing down from crown to root. The natural kind of tidal energetic movement that we're interested in working with. All of this is quite subtle in a sense that it's so easy to kind of impose an idea upon experience rather than just being open to experience. So it's quite a subtle thing that takes a lot of, I suppose, patience, really. Yeah. Mm. Okay, let's do a little bit of meditation together. So get yourselves comfortable. I've been leaning forward in a rather bad posture today. Who knows? Just a test. Huh? Okay. So as with yesterday, try and have this feeling of making the posture in relationship with the world. initially in relationship with just the proximate situation you're in, the actual room that you're sitting in, and have a sense of the shape of the room. Have a sense of the space that your body's taken up within that room. Maybe its relationship to other objects in the room. Felt sense of your connection with whatever it is you're sitting on. So we've got this awareness tends to arise due to contact, doesn't it? So we've got this contact with the cushion, the floor, the chair, sensation in the body arising due to contact with. This is how other senses arise due to contact, isn't it? Our experience is nearly always a dynamic relationship between us and what we consider to be the world. I'm quite keen on the traditional Soto Zen instructions for the posture. They say you align the nose with the navel. Might seem a slightly strange instruction, but actually I find it really useful just to, if you become aware of your navel, that area there, and you become aware of your nose, you kind of can have a kind of imaginal line from your navel to your nostrils there, and as you breathe in and out, you can just notice how that line flexes. So the belly, isn't it? As we breathe in, the belly's moving out and down a little bit, the diaphragm there. Maybe a slight lengthening of that line, an imaginal line between our nose and navel as we breathe in. And just notice anyway, we have our, imagine our nose in line with our navel. Maybe just drop the tip of your nose very slightly towards your navel. Here we're just trying to open up the back of the skull a little bit. The base of the skull, just kind of imagine it peeling away from the spine a little. The spine goes up, right up into our head, the top of the jawline. And the skull sits upon the spine, doesn't it? It's quite unusual to see people with their heads too far forward when they meditate. You know, much more common that people tend to pull back their heads and constrict the base of their skull. Your ears above your shoulders, your shoulders above your hip. And just sort of very gently, in a sense, of just pushing the back of the head up towards the ceiling. The lengthening is in the back, yeah, rather than the front of the body. So we're not sticking our chest up and out. If anything, we're very slightly dropping our sternum. Opening up the armpits. And imagine your body is very responsive to your breath, as if the breath in the body has sort of these one thing, aren't they? We have a breathing body. In a very real way, the body is animated and repeatedly refreshed and sort of made really by breathing. The breath, of course, becomes part of the body, doesn't it? Enters the bloodstream, goes around the body, it's incorporated. Bodies are always incorporating the world all the time, yeah? Through breathing in and out, we're incorporating what we think of the outside into the inside. And of course, we're doing this as well through food, eating, yeah? You have this very concrete interaction with the world all the time. I'm continuously incorporating inner and outer, what we think of as other and us, continuously flowing between each other. I have a sense of your pelvis. Buttocks there. Stability of the posture and the stability of the meditation is really found in the legs, quite dependent upon the extent we're able to release in the lower body. It's the releasing of the lower body that brings stability into the posture. And by bringing stability into the posture in time, we will bring stability into the mind as well. Get some sense of the breath down into the groin, into the thighs there. So just this, when we say be aware of the breath, we're just being aware of that part of our body as we breathing and as we breathe out. Yeah. As you breathe in, just being aware of those big muscles in the legs, in the upper legs. And as you breathe out, maybe imagine your knees tending away from your hips. So you're encouraging a sense of lengthening and releasing the thigh. Calves and the feet, and bring a bit of awareness. You start with the soles of your feet. As you breathe in, where does the awareness go? If you imagine breathing in through the soles of your feet, between your toes, the soles. Where does the awareness, the energy in the body go? What would it be like to really relax your legs fully? We can, if we understand that our craving and our aversion is always manifest psychophysically, in the muscular, energetic structure of the body, we get a very practical way of working in meditation. Yeah, we've really taken our place, really established a posture. Means to relax the legs, so that tendency to move away, which we call aversion, or move towards, which we call craving, is released. We're releasing the leg. Try and imagine a kind of energetic connection, whatever way it offers itself to you, and an energetic connection with the earth below you. You're able to discharge, as it were, excess energy. This world, this earth, this deep, broad earth below you. You can let go any excess excitement or holding tightness. You can trust the earth to support you. You can be in a kind of energetic relationship with your legs, with the earth, with your sitting bones and your buttock. You can draw up what you need from the earth, and you can let go what you no longer need. And breathing in, breathing out, just seeing if we can tune into whatever energetic flows, tides in our body. Don't make it up, but just stay with the breath, the experience of breathing. Not the idea of breathing, but the felt sense as experienced in your body. It's not an idea, it's the image. It's through image that things come into awareness. That's slightly different from a conceptual idea based in sensation. I imagine your body's got its own imagination, as it were. The body makes image. Releasing the legs. There's no end to releasing your legs. Yeah. We're trying to move from our sort of hyper-vigilance, as it were, fight, flight tendency, being on guard in a certain sort of way, to a different sort of attention, to a participatory attention. This is what it feels like for you to be sitting where you're sitting. Your spine rising up from your pelvis, and you have a sense of your spine. What's your spine doing as you breathe in and out? This is the way the diaphragm is anchored onto the spine. There's a slight movement in the spine as we breathe. See how the energy is flowing in back of the body as you breathe in and out. What's going on? What does it feel like to be fully present in a moment? Be present is to sort of participate, isn't it? To be fully participating. Our body in its body-shaped space within a room, within the world. Our bodies are rising in the same moment as everything in the world is arising. Release the shoulders a little bit, maybe. The body becomes very flexible around the breath. The animal of your body, the soft animal, heart in your lungs, in your gut, in your sexual organs, skeleton, your muscles, your organs. Imagine the awareness in the whole of your body, not some kind of separate thing that becomes aware of your body as object, but awareness is saturating the whole body. Every cell in the body, your nails, your teeth, your tongue, your toes, your skin, your bones. Whatever offers itself to you. Yeah. Your spine, releasing your legs a little more, trusting the world a little more, that we're not going towards or away from anything at the moment. Nearly all of our life we're going towards or away, aren't we? In more or less subtle ways we're involved in craving and aversion. When we meditate, we're not going towards or away from anything. Face relax a bit. your mouth, soften. Whole of your body breathing, every part of your body breathing. Breathing in relation to the trees and the sky, mountains and the rivers, the cities, all that life. Breathing is being in relationship to direct participation in the world. Not the assertion of your ego in the world, but it is a fundamental, irreducible participation in the world. Just to breathe in and out. Soften your hands a little bit. Let the breath just very naturally begin to unlock the holding in the body. Just notice what is what's involved, what's not involved, what's been forgotten. What's being remembered, put back together, joined. The lungs and the heart, the core, the courage, encouragement, belly, genitals, anus, perineum, throat, back of the body, what's behind the body, front of the body, what's in front of the body, earth and sky, trees, the rivers, the mountains, the ocean. Everything is just present. Just that single breath of fully participating in the world. I breathe in, everything is present. As I breathe out, everything is present. I can't think about everything. My awareness is participating in the field of awareness that makes up the world, the universe. stop her trying to appropriate anything. Everything is just there. Make the gesture of awareness for our body, and then we just relax. Relax is to stop making more and more self all the time. So you're going to have a little lay down so you can make this transition in your own time. As if you were here yesterday, I was encouraging you to lay in a fetal position. But if that's not, doesn't feel comfortable for you, just lay however you want. Make sure you're warm enough. And we're just trying to, anyway, make that transition to laying down. Try and make it as simply as possible, yeah. Yeah, so just getting yourselves comfortable in a laying posture. So we're not trying to maintain any particular awareness now. We're just having a rest, just emphasizing the letting go. We're trying to let go of that part of us that's always trying to control our experience. Always judging and controlling. It doesn't matter if you go to sleep. It doesn't matter if you go off somewhere, some fantasy or whatever. Just let what happens happen. Yeah? And to facilitate a kind of release, have a bit of drumming. Got a different drum today. This is a crow drum. So just laying still a little bit longer, if you recollect yourself. Maybe come into your breath. Just notice how the breath clucks you to your heart. And then when you feel ready, just making that transition back to sitting. Try and do this as calmly as possible. We're just trying to bring whatever been going on while we're laying down into this different relationship, this more dynamic relationship with the world. I was sitting after the drumming for some reason. I had this first line of E. Cummings' poem came to mind, where he says, "Love's function is to fabricate unknowingness." I thought we'd do that for a little while there. So just establishing your posture, the basics, a nice stable, try and find a nice stable base. You're letting go in the lower body, trusting the earth to support you. Nice alignment by releasing the pelvis downwards and releasing the dome of the skull, crown upwards towards the stars, towards the sun and the light. In the sense of that flexible living spine, joining your pelvis to your skull. And the sense of the lungs and the heart and the stomach and the genitals. The back of the body broadening and lengthening, alive as you sit. We talk about becoming still, but we're just stilling into the intimacy of the body, which is always dynamically in relationship with the world. We're just going to place an emphasis, so just notice as you breathe in, just let the energies come into the heart area, the lungs, like wings of the heart, aren't they? It's kind of draped around the heart, the lungs. The lungs bring us, when we talk about a heart, in a lot of traditions, I think the heart is the whole circulatory system. It's not just the organ of the heart. Don't worry about that, but just come in to the center of yourself. Imagine your heart has its own consciousness, its own awareness that isn't dependent upon your ego awareness. Let the heart say something reassuring to the ego. It's all right for you to rest. You don't have to be vigilant, on guard. You can just rest. When we center in the heart, we're allowing the ego center, small self, to relax, to have some time off. It's very busy and trying its hardest to keep us safe and make us happy. But when we rest in the heart, we're just resting in how things are. Heart's the center of the flow, isn't it, of the energetic body. It's a place of union between inner and outer, left and right, front and back, up and down. Heart supported by the belly, the diaphragm. Abdomen, right down to root. Connected up through throat. Not an idea about the heart, but what's the felt sense in the heart? Just be open to what it is to sit with the heart as the center. 7 hearts are the hearts that I have. The language of the heart is not conceptual, so don't confuse the heart. Once you start thinking conceptually, the heart's no longer the center of you. The language of felt image in the heart. Possibly memory. Don't try and figure it out. Just see how the body naturally constellates around the heart, the center of the mandala of your body, your heart, the heart of things, ache heart. Face relaxed. song of the seven-hearted boy. 7 hearts are the hearts that I have, but mine is not there among them. In the high mountains, mother, where I sometimes ran into the wind, 7 girls with long hands carried me around in their mirrors. I've sung my way through this world with my mouth with its 7 petals. My crimson-coloured galleys cast off without rigging or oar. I've lived my life in territories owned by other men. The secrets I wore are about my throat, unbeknownst to me, have come open. In the high mountains, mother, where my heart rose above its echoes, in the memory book of a star, I sometimes ran into the wind. 7 hearts are the hearts that I have, but mine is not there among them. Just very gently, just encourage the awareness down to the heart center, lungs, gently massaging the heart there, heart beating. What if your psyche really emanates from your heart? The core of you. Heart that sits in the middle, doesn't it? Three hearts below and three hearts above. This ruling heart, this invigorating center. Brings you into alignment with the world. World flows in and out through the heart. Okay, so we'll leave it there for this morning, and be back again at 3:30. That's right, yeah, 3:30 my time, and yeah, have a nice lunchtime. Take it easy if you can. I mean, obviously, if you can, do a bit of meditation, a bit of exercise in the other spaces around. But if you can't, well, don't worry about it. And I'll see you later.